Hi, I'm Ted from Everything Attachments, and we're today with our new Wicked tree puller. We've got 3 different sizes that we're going to be offering, from mid-size compact tractors to skid steers of any size like this one, and up to large tractors and wheel loaders or whatever. And this is kind of that size. This is about 875 pounds. After realizing, after making hard ox forks, we're going to lighten this up a little bit. It just does, this is all hard ox, and it just doesn't need to be quite this heavy. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what we're able to get our weights down. Now, to a lot of people, this is going to resemble the Dan User Intimidator, I think is the name of it, their tree puller, but we've made some changes. Actually, Glenn had some patent issues with it, because what he has patent is that the tines are relatively flat. And if you'll notice, we've laminated this, which we may or may not do. What I thought was flat meant different levels. So this has different levels. It is laminated. What we end up producing, since we got a new 15,000 watt fiber laser, we can cut 1-inch hard ox with no problem, or half, or whatever we need. This is a total of about 1 inch here with all 3 laminations. And it took 210 tons to do an 8-inch bend at 10 degrees. So I don't think we're going to bend. That was without the brace welded to it. We cut that back loose. And so what our patent goes on is a spoon-shaped tree pulling device. So we had a guy that actually sent us a message on our Facebook account that actually labeled everything that I had already done to this, because I've used the Intimidator before. There were a few things I didn't like about it. One thing was, I didn't like the rear cylinder hooked to the bottom, where it created a pocket that had to be behind and below this. So we eliminated that by bringing the cylinders up. And we also were able to shorten this and give you a much better leverage here for everything. We made a bolt-on grill guard, and we leaned it forward considerably to make it easy to get in and out of cab tractors. The Kubota has a cab door that goes up inside, so that's not really a problem. The Bobcat's door is so low to give you visibility that it interferes with a lot of attachments. Usually I end up going up to a wall and hanging it over so it doesn't creep on me up at night, where I have to crawl back in the back of it at night. So I don't think you'll have any of those problems with this. You could take this owner off. I don't know why you would. It's not a straight, slick area. We've bowed this front. We put the grippers on it. This should keep your trees that you're trying to control here instead of falling around, which could get into your cab or something. This on the big one, this has 3-inch main shafts in it. It has 2 gear sets instead of 1. It has 2 cylinders instead of 1. So we should have double the crimping force, and we're not running the cylinder down in the bottom of the pocket where all the mud and everything's gonna get crammed in there. That's gotta shorten the life of the cylinder and everything, including your gears. We've raised all that up about 4 inches inside of there. And we've made the box, actually, we've done all that and made the box much shorter. So you got a lot better visibility. This unit was actually sold to somebody that was going to put it on a tractor. So our lines are not exactly optimized. We didn't sell it because we had that problem with the Dan User interference. So we've overcome that. We've patented it this way. Everything should be good. The one thing I think we need is one of the hose savers right here. And the length of these would be right for a skid steer when you get it, or for whatever you're using it for. So everything is hard ox here. We cut this thing apart, put the bends in it to make it like a spoon. So this is definitely a hacked up prototype. It's been cut in 2 here. All this has been cut off. All that's been reformed and put back. So this one probably stronger than anybody needs, but it's not going to be as strong as the new one you would get that didn't have it hacked apart and put back together either. So we're also going to not use the backhoe teeth. We'll be making our own front teeth out of hard ox, and we've got a couple of different ways that we may do it, but it's going to be better than this. as we do everything. So we put the plate on here. So actually, instead of the jaws pivoting on the shaft is welded to the jaws and all the teeth. So all the movement is being, you got a grease fitting here and here, all the movement is being done welded to the shaft. And with a 3-inch shaft in there, I'm pretty sure this machine isn't even going to come close to being able to bend anything. Leaning this forward helps a lot to get you to where you can control your trees, we think. It's the first time we've ever used it. We're going to find out, but I know it was hard to get in and out of a cab the way that the Dan User was designed. So we changed all that. There's a lot of changes, and we've done so much, I can't even remember half of it, but we're gonna go through this test, make sure. What we really think is that thanks to the Dan User with their relatively flat panel design, that this spoon is just better. It works more like a crowbar. It's like a shoehorn. This should be great to pry with. So actually, by avoiding their patent, it made us make ours better, period. We're gonna give it a try. We've changed our rippers to where they should, especially made out of hard ox, they should really, I'm gonna actually take a little 3 or 4 inch tree, rub it a few times, and see just how well it will saw. As far as all of this, we're able to make this thinner and easier to get into the ground and up under something to grub with. Now, some of these things are really sharp, so getting in and out, you got to be somewhere between careful and wearing gloves. This unit's only got 70 hours on it. I haven't put most of them on it. And everybody knows how easy we use our equipment if they need something used, ours are like new. So I am going to put my seatbelt on in here just in case I get jostled around. I don't want to eat the windshield. I'm pretty good on equipment I haven't run, and I haven't run this thing in a year, so bear with me. We were out here the other day with the new Wicked S55, and it was wetter, and a 55 horsepower compact tractor just can't compete with something like this. I'm gonna try it about. I could get in a pocket, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna get right there and see what happens. See how much skid steer. Okay, that's all the just up or down pressure. Excuse me. It takes a lot just to pull a tree out, and that's not a big tree. But we're gonna start using the motion. So there's where the big difference between a tractor and a skid steer comes in. A tractor can't lift near as much as a skid steer, but a big old 120,000 pound tractor like our Kubota can push a lot. So that's where you start using your push to do things. And I'm gonna hold this on grip when I do go with this. Shake some of the dirt off of it. Well, that pulled up a lot more dirt than I thought it would for this size tree. So I can run my machine with it all the way down and not be dragging the ground. So I'm gonna go all the way into this one where the actual gripping part for a tree is meant to be. And that way I've got my guard right there where I can really work all this together. I'm gonna go up a little higher. It's still pretty wet, and these tracks on a skid steer get slick quick. it's wanting to come out. And I'm using the machine to do it with. Oh yeah, I'm all the way up against the cab. Oh, come on. This tree may be heavier than I think. With all that dirt. Come on. I think I just need some better traction. I don't know if it wants to back out of the hole. Oh, come on. This mud's killing me. Come on. My tracks are like slicks. This thing must weigh about 4,000 pounds or more. One thing's for sure, I'm not worried about damaging the tree puller. I believe this could be replanted. I'm gonna try a little tree like this, just on the end, just to see what it does. Not get in it deep, which is not gonna help me with leverage. I just wanna see how because this is where it's gonna put the most force on the grippers. Oh yeah, no problem. We're certainly not gonna bend these grippers. So I'm actually gonna line this up with the little bit so I can, well, I may just carry it like that. I got 2 trees out at one time, I believe. That spoon shape is really going to make it strong. See if so my grippers are built really for a tree a little bigger than this. So I'm going to back up on the grips just a little bit. I'm going to grab it there and rock it. Shouldn't have any problem. I'm just going to make me a second pile right here so I don't have to travel so far. And I believe that was a prickly pear, and they're pretty tough to get out, to be honest with you. Dadgummit, every time I move my handle up, I take everything back off. Alright, let's see how this tree does. Yeah, oh yeah, just pluck it right out from the end. not sure what this is, but it looks kind of weird. I bet it's going to be a bear to pull out. We'll see. Nope, that was pretty easy. Got a lot of roots on it though. So maybe we'll find one a little bigger. The machine is going to be what's controlling what comes out of the ground here, not the attachment. These double-headed ones are always a real pain. So we'll see. I'm just going to work it a little bit and see what I can do with it. So right now I'm using the spoon part of this to I'm just going to work it back and forth a little bit with the tilt. And then I'm going to use the tracks. Before I dig in with the mud, I'm going to loosen it up. I'm going to try up a little higher. Of course I could go up higher and push it over, but I see the dirt moving and I don't really want to do that. But I might. So that guard is so strong, I'm pulling the tree with the guard. And I'm good with that because the roots don't like it. And I'm going to go up a little higher. These teeth are really gripping well. She's surely pulling the bark off of her. Come on out of there. If I had some push-pull to go with this lift, I'd have it. This ground is not my friend today. Tearing it into pieces. Alright, so I'm going to let this out and I'm going to go at it the old-fashioned way. We're going to start grubbing a little bit. This is where that spoon shape's really going to help. Let's see if we can pull her out. This is a pretty tough thing right here. I'm gonna get out of my tracks and move over. Keeping me is from not having a bigger machine. This could be a one-pull wonder if it was on a wheel loader. Come on, you know you want to come out. Getting in a little deeper every time. There we go. I knew that double-headed, they're always tough. And I don't even know what kind of tree that is. I'm pretty sure my jaws are still perfect. Oh yeah. I'm gonna just scoop this. Let's try the scoop method. Oh yeah, that spoon's working. Roll right into it. Oh yeah. will clean up my mess while I'm over here. So I'd do more of bigger stuff if I had the traction. The weather today, just all we've had is rain here for the last month. And it's supposed to rain again this weekend, so, you know. Maybe I can rake him a little bit and break him in. Wouldn't have any problem with a 10-inch tree if I had a 20,000 pound skid steer or the lift of a wheel loader. But this little stuff right here, I'm gonna just see how it does with multiples. I don't want quite that many. And you always, if you want to make sure you can get it out, you should start at the bottom and start grubbing, but that's not really, and of course, I mean, that is what we're built for. But, sorry, Colin, it just shows the strength of the jaws by being able to just rip stuff in two. This thing's built to be no joke and take whatever your machine can put to it. All this other little stuff, it's just way too easy. I don't know if that tree's on the line or not. That's probably about, we'll take this one out just because it looks like it's lonely. And then we'll just examine everything and go over everything real quick with you. We think we got these ready to go to market. She sure will shear one off, I can tell that. The cylinders the jaws may go a little slower than they would with a single cylinder, but you've got twice the gripping force. We're going to pull her up here on the cement and examine everything, see what changes we do or don't want to make, and I think we're in the tree pulling business. I'm going to leave the jaws open. All right, and I'm going to leave it curled all the way up so you'll see what I mean on being able to get out of your worst case scenario machine. So even if you were a Bobcat, you would have a good 2 feet to get your door open, and that's with it tilted all the way back. I'm not doing anything special to usually I would have to put all this down on a Bobcat to let me get out. So now you can see a little bit of more what's in here. You can see the double set of jaws. Right now that's double hard ox plated. We may start cutting that out of single just because we've got the 15K new fiber laser. You can see these curved jaws here, how they were able to pry. Nothing below this is sticking down behind the hitch or anything for the cylinder because it's low. These are actually made on the end of the flat plane on a Dan user, and you can see we've raised those up. So there's not going to be any mud and stuff in our cylinder right off the bat. This hard ox being leaned out with your grill, having this, we were able to just snap trees off. The only thing that kept me from doing anything I wanted was not having double the power, double the weight, and double the traction. This is meant for something heavier than this. We will have this weighs in the 850-ish range. We will have one in the under or about 600-pound range that will still take everything this will take and do everything that we did today. This is just the one we've got built first ready, and this is more than this machine needs or wants. So at Everything Attachments, we build these things to use them any way you want to. You can tear your machine up. I've done it. I built my Kubota loader on my 141. That's on me. I'm a little hard on things. But we want you to be able to have confidence in your attachment and not have to baby the attachment. You baby your tractor as much as you need to, or your skid steer, to feel comfortable the way you like to run your machinery, but just don't worry about what we give you, because we're going to give you something that'll outlast and outstand your machine. At Everything Attachments, if you demand the best, this is the only place you're going to find it. American made, right here in Conover, North Carolina. We're here for you. We'll be here for you for your service. You know, one of the companies that tried to buy us, first thing they wanted to know is how many parts do we sell a year? I told him we didn't sell parts. And he said, what the heck do you mean you don't sell parts? I said, well, our stuff doesn't break. So, and every now and then something does happen, and we do our best to get our stuff to the customer with usually no more than the freight charge to get you what you need and try to help you out through with whatever problems you have. That's just us. And we want to have a better piece. I knew I hated that cylinder down below that hitch. I knew this needed to be leaned forward. I knew I wanted something to grip this when I got a tree a hold of it, where I could do what I wanted to with the tree instead of it doing what it wanted to me. I wanted to narrow this up. I wanted to get this flatter. You know, I accomplished all that through Nate. Together, we just make a super team. And with Colin on board, we should be able to do these videos more often. We've really neglected our YouTube channel, and we're getting back in the game, and we've got our new factory about ready, and we're going to get our lead times back down, and you're going to be able to get the best stuff when you want it. At Everything Attachments, we're here.